there. I have a gorgeous biryani, and then I have a balti, chicken balti. So chicken balti is a curry, a tomato-based curry. So for that, we're going to use a tin of chopped tomatoes. We have a selection of spices as well. The PDF that I've created, actually I didn't tell you that, I have a PDF created with the recipe, so I'll post it as soon as I finish the video. I just want to put the link for the video into the PDF so you can click on that to find the video really easy going forward. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. The breathing isn't great today. Anyway, so into the balti, very simple. We're going to put some ginger, some garlic, some chopped onions, some coriander, some chicken, some sliced peppers, a little bit of oil, some seasoning, spices, and then my chopped tomato, a little drop of water. It's that simple. The biryani is another thing that I'll put some spices into, and that's what I'm going to start first, because we'll get that rice on. So I just have star anise here. I'm just going to stick a couple of star anise in there. Now, clove would be a thing I stick in there. Let me see if I have some to hand. I knew I was missing something. I don't think I have any to hand, but that's okay. I have some in my seasoning. Now, so you'd put about 3 cloves, 4 cloves into that. That's just coriander seed. And put about 5 or 6 into that. Then you need a little bit of pepper. And you can use whole peppercorns or pepper from the mill. Now, if you have it, cardamom is great in there. If you don't have it, that's fine. Add a little, just a half teaspoon of some ginger paste and a half teaspoon of some garlic paste. Now we'll mix that up quite well with about 2 teaspoons, teaspoon and a half. Don't put too much. It's important you don't put too much because it will ruin it. A teaspoon and a half turmeric, ground turmeric. And what that does is it gives your rice a lovely yellow colour when it's cooking. So now let's just scrape that off. So now with a little bit of stock pot in there. So what we're doing basically is we're creating almost like a kilo of rice, but we're going to do it in the microwave instead of doing it in the pot. Now we have some water here actually. I'm well prepared, look at that. So you're just going to top that off with water. Now what you need is about double, well not double, equal amount of water to the amount of rice you put into that. So a little bit more. A little bit more for what I had there. Now, so the easy way to do that is to measure a cup out, say measure a mug of rice out, pour it in and then measure that'll give you 2 portions say, and then fill the same mug with water and pour that in. That's the easiest way of doing that. So now give this a little bit of a stir just to get those spices infused throughout. Lovely. Grab your cling film and just cover that with cling film. I'll do that away from here because I have no space to do it there. So basically cover a cling film and then put a hole in the top, pop it into your microwave. Give me 1 second to get back to you there. So in your microwave that'll take about, that size bowl, 10 minutes, maybe 12. Depends on your microwave, about 850 watt, about 10 minutes. Check it after 10 minutes and see how you go. Now, don't forget to put the hole in the top, it's pretty important. You want to let the steam escape, otherwise it's just going to bubble up and it'll go everywhere. So 10 minutes. There. Perfect. Right, so let's get stuck into the rest of this. So very, very simple. Really simple. You have a couple of options with your chicken. You can marinate a little bit of yogurt and tandoori. So 1 tablespoon of yogurt, 1 tablespoon of tandoori spice in a bowl. Mix your chicken through it, cover with cling film, leave it overnight. Fantastic flavour. Take that out and fry it then as normal. Just follow the recipe as normal if you choose to do that. If you don't have the time or you don't have the tandoori, whatever, you can do it this way. So we get stuck in straight away. Really simple, not too high. About a medium heat you're working with here now, okay? And what we'll do is we're going to do actually, you know what I'll do? I'll do paste first. Let me grab, because I did this a simpler way than I would normally do it when I was doing the recipe, because I know how busy a lot of you are. So I wanted to create a different way of doing it to make your lives that bit easier. Now, I have my bowl here, which I'll put a little bit of rinse to. Yeah, my way of doing it, my initial way of doing it, I'll do this in a with my blender here. So all I'm basically going to do is turn what you can normally fry off into a paste. And what you can do is you can do this paste the night before or something. I'll have to do it across the way, but I'll show you what I put into it just so that you know. So you put in your onions. We're going to put in just about 2 tablespoons of the tomato. We're going to put in a nice good teaspoon of ginger, a nice good teaspoon of garlic. Now the spice mix, I'm not going to go through it here, it's in the PDF all written out for you. So just a little dash of coriander into that too. Spilling it everywhere. Just a little dash of coriander. Now your spices, as I said, I'm not going to go into them. There's too many to list. What I have here is my own Balti seasoning mix. So with that, this is enough to make 4. So we're going to put a nice heaped tablespoon I should say, into that. You can see you have loads left in the pack to make another 3. And they'll be on sale in my store, limited to 50 of them tomorrow. Now you can use a mortar and pestle for this as well if you so choose, it's no problems. Chili is another thing, if you want to put chili into that, choose. I'm not actually going to, but you can if you want to stick a little bit in, it'd be lovely, if you like the heat. Now I'll have to go over here and do this, my apologies. You just hear this whistle for a second. It smells absolutely fine already. Show you guys a whole series of new curry pastes like this in videos with a recipe PDF to match and a link in the PDF back to the video, so anytime you want to go back and have a look to see what you need to do, you can. And there it is, there's the paste. God, the heat tonight, it's very warm, isn't it? Anyway, here you go, there's your paste, like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, you don't have to get every bit of it, it's absolutely fine. I mean, that smells divine. It just smells like gorgeous curry, to be honest with you. Now, so let's get cracking. What we'll do, okay, is if you're at home, before you do the paste, what I would suggest you do is turn your heat up to half, put your oil in. I'm using olive oil. I recommend you use mustard oil or sunflower vegetable oil for this if your health can take it. So we just get that up to temperature and turn it up a little higher to bring it up to temperature, and we turn it back down then once it's hot enough. Actually, I'm using the wrong pan. To use this one, my apologies. I meant to use this one for the biryani and the other one for the balti. And as soon as that rice is ready, we'll be doing the balti. So, now this is only a couple of minutes away and we're ready to go with this. So what you do, get your chicken, bump your chicken into the paste. Now I have the chicken for the balti and the biryani here. I'm going to cook them both together. And you can do the same if you want to do 2 dinners. So today's dinner and tomorrow's dinner. Or even, you can keep it for 2 or 3 days, no problems, if you don't want to eat kind of curry style dishes or Indian style dishes. Now if you leave that for an hour in your fridge, it's going to taste better. It's going to absorb all that flavour, it's just going to taste better. You can also do it the tandoori way that I explained if you want. If you do it the tandoori way, don't do it this way. Now that's nice and hot, so all of that in it goes, and we just get that on. And I'll put my peppers in there. Now what I advise you to do at home, if you're doing it at home, is do your peppers first while you're getting, then put your rice on and get your marinade and stuff like that out. Get your peppers on and then add your chicken and fry it in the peppers. Just for the video's sake, I'm doing it like this today. So just turn that up a little, not too much because we don't want it to burn. Now we'll leave it and let the heat do its trick, okay? Now, in the meantime, we're going to get the bits ready for the biryani. It's a tiny little bit of chopping, and I want to show you guys what I do all the time. I don't waste anything. Look at this. No waste. I keep my peppers, and I use a bit in different recipes rather than using the bits. See all of this? Throwing that out. You don't need to throw any of that out. That all works, and that's going to do another day again. Wrap it in a little bit of cling film, and it'll do again for another day. You don't have to think of a pepper and onion as being just for one meal, you know, you can spread them out to do a few. Now I put a bit more pepper in this if I was you. I'm only making biryani for 2. If you're making it for 4, I'd put more. Bit of green pepper in it as well, it's quite nice. I have my sliced onion there already. Now let's give those a little stir. And that's almost good. So about 5 minutes we're going to fry that chicken for. Make sure if you're doing it in your pot that your pot is a heavy bottom pot. It's really important, or else it's just going to burn. So then just grab your chopped tomatoes, stick them in. The rest of your stock pot, stick it in. And about 100 milliliters of cold water. Doesn't have to be precise. Now, would you believe we've made a biryani? I beg your pardon, a balti. I should have picked ones with more different names. And we're going to get our peppers. And we're just going to stick those in there, flip that off. And when those peppers are nice and soft, your chicken will be cooked. And there you have an absolutely gorgeous balti. It smells absolutely delicious. Now, if you want a stronger, more vibrant curry, put 2 tablespoons of the balti mix, or double up the spice mix into that. I do it mild, so that it'll please the family and kids and stuff like that. If you're used to going to an Indian, you like a really good, vibrant, spicy and you know, full of flavour curry, then double the spices. If you're cooking for a family with kids, I advise you to follow the way I'm doing here. So now let's leave that over there and swap it over. Put it on a nice simmer. Put it on a nice simmer, and by the time our rice has 1 minute out, let me wipe that down a little bit and get myself cleared up here. Now I'll just give you guys a look at these lovely spices that I have. So I've doubled the size packs. There's a company up in Meath doing them for me now. So the pack is actually double the size of what it was before, but they're the same price. So we have balti seasoning, we have tandoori spice, which is the fantastic one for coating your chicken, stuff like that. We have Rogan Josh, we have Creole seasoning, which I love, it's my own blend, I absolutely love it. We've korma, I make my 10-second korma, or we've tikka masala, all to make easy spice. So in total that'll make that'll make the guts of 20 curries in total, which isn't bad. Now that pan is a bit hot, we'll have to cool it down. So yeah, it'll make about 20 curries in total, which isn't half bad. And that will set you back $10.99, and they'll be available, only 50 of them. That's all the company could do for me at the moment, because they're short of staff because of the lockdown. So they don't have their full production up and running. So they can do 50 at a time, so I'll have 50 of those on sale tomorrow, at some stage tomorrow, and they'll be shipped out to you tomorrow, or depending on what time you order, tomorrow or Wednesday. You'll have them at the latest on Thursday. They'll be shipped on post. Now that smells amazing. Let me check on this rice over here, which should be good to go. And the rice smells gorgeous too. It is good to go. So let me show you guys this. There's the rice basically cooked, but what I want to do, that's starchy and sticky now, and I don't want that. That's not good for my biryani, because I'm going to have a clumpy biryani. So I'm going to grab my strainer. I have a conical strainer with the holes, the rice won't go through it. It's a professional strainer. If you're looking for one, I'll put the link above later. They're not expensive, and you can get them the exact same one as I have from a company in Dublin called Kendamar. If you want to Google that, Kendma. It's Kendamar, I believe. Kendamar, and they're based in Dublin, and they have a store. Both in Dublin, they ship nationwide. Now, so all I'm doing over here is I'm literally rinsing that sticky, starchy rice under a cold tap. Let me bring it over here, and it's quite hot, and show you guys this. This is after rinsing it. So you cool it down, and what you're doing then, let me grab a spoon. You're cooling it down. It's perfectly cooked rice, not sticky. All that starch, which is extra, basically sugar content, is gone. You still have the flavour, you still have the colour, you have everything you want. Take the star anise out whenever you pop across one. You don't have to, it's not essential, but it just might too strong a flavour. And that smells beautiful. It just smells like a gorgeous flavoured rice. Really, really nice. So there's our chicken cooking away. Almost there. So now, the exact same if you're doing regular rice. The exact same, just don't put in, you can put in the turmeric just to make it a nice colour if you want, but don't put in the rest of the stuff to stockpot all the bits. There's no need for it if you're just doing regular rice. And the same thing, cool it down like that till it's cold. Make sure it's cold all the way through, and you have gorgeous rice. There's that other star anise there now. Throw that away. Lovely. So let's get cracking on this. So, flick this on. Now, you don't want this too hot. I'm working on induction, so I'm going to keep it nice and mild, and you don't want too much oil, just a drop. This is bubbling away nicely, and don't cover this balti because you want some of that water to evaporate off of it. Now, as soon as that gets up to temperature, I want to grab our peppers and our onions. And the reason that you don't want too much oil is you want to get a bit of colour onto these. Colour is good. So we're going to fry it up again. When you're doing the rice, you can't have it too hot, but just for the start to get these done, get a little bit of colour into them. And what that colour does is it acts almost like a, how would you describe it? Like a tandoor oven, I suppose. That charcoal type cooking from a tandoor oven. Just a little bit of black on it, and you start to smell it and kind of see when it just gets that black bit. That smells amazing. Go back, and I'm going to use a bit of my balti seasoning again. And the same thing. About a tablespoon. I'm going to put some ginger. And we're going to put some garlic. I'm sure you use them off. Why not? Now, you've got to stir off the heat. Away from the heat, you don't want those spices to burn. You just want to get the flavour into them. Ready? Get your rice in. Let it stir. Now, come over to your balcony. Just get some of that lovely liquid and put it in there. Now, would you know, traditionally with like a biryani, we want the coriander. Traditionally with a biryani, they use drumsticks and thighs and stuff like that. They don't actually use chicken breast, or they'll use a whole chicken. Now, just kind of a dash of water, 20 milliliters or so, just a dash, a couple of tablespoons, you know. And then we're just going to grab a nice spoonful of chicken and all the bits, because I put that extra chicken in there. And a little bit of sauce. Delicious. Oh, it smells so good. And that chicken's cooked lovely. So let me dish up and show you guys. Finished dishes, because they're both finished. I'm not sure how long that took. I might have done a bit more talking. If I was just cooking, you see how quick they'd be. So let me dish these up. And start with our delicious biryani. And there you have a beautiful biryani. And finally, a little biryani rice. And this. And a serve up. Delicious